expectations. And he had done it for several years, and at last it became unmanageable to fill the gap between the fictitious balance sheet and the real ones. So Mr. Raju at last revealed that he inflated this, and he tell the truth. Now Jyoti will explain further.
Thank you, Akshay. Now, in this slide, we are going to discuss about the reasons behind the confession of Raju. In previous slide, we saw the how Raju manipulated the accounts, the balance sheet and income statement of the company. Due to this, all these manipulations, the gap in the assets and liability sides of the balance sheet grew so high that it was unmanageable for the company. In order to manage this gap and cover the fraud, uh, Raju decided to acquire the Raju decided to acquire the Meta's. Raju decided to acquire the stake in the Meta's infrastructure and Meta's property, which were originally owned by Raju's family members only. But the reason behind this deal was to convert their fictitious assets into real ones. But this deal of acquisition was reversed in just next 12 hours as the shareholders felt cheated and sold their stake and also filed complaint against Satyam in US, because of which World Bank banned Satyam from conducting business for 8 years. And because of because of this, the Meta's deal was aborted. Uh, Despite of Raju's desperate effort to cover this fraud, he was unable to cover it. And despite of Raju's desperate effort to cover this fraud, he was unable to cover it. And these all events led to the confession. And on January 7, 2009, Raju wrote a confession letter to all its shareholders in which he declared that how he has done the fraud till now. Now I would like to call Purvi to explain the further slide.
Thank you, Jyoti. Good morning, respected teachers and my classmates. Here I will discuss about the factors that contributed to fraud. Chairman of Satyam Computer Services, B. Ramalingam Raju, described his situation as it was like riding a tiger, not knowing how to get off without being eaten. And factors which are responsible for this fraud are greed, ambitious corporate growth, independent board members and directors, audit failure, and a greater emphasis on short term performance. The first point is greed. There are many factors contributed to the fraud, but the domain factor is greed. Once the greed enters in the mind, it leads destruction. Greed overshadows the responsibility to meet fiduciary duties. Greed for money, power, competition, success, and prestige compelled Mr. Raju to ride the tiger, which led to violation of all duties like the duty of care, the duty of loyalty, the duty of disclosure towards the shareholder. The second point is ambitious corporate growth. Like I said in the first point, that human greed and desire that lead to the fraud, and Mr. B. Ramalingam Raju was so ambitious about his corporate growth that he started using shortcuts, and he also started manipulating the company's account so that he could impress the shareholders, fulfill his stock market expectation, maintaining stock price, and maintain the company and maintain the competition in the IT services. The third point is independent board members and director. Here I would like to explain my point with an example. Without shareholders approval, the Satyam board, including its 5 independent directors, had approved the founder had approved the founder's proposal to buy the stake in Maita's infrastructure and all Maita's property, which were owned by family members of Satyam chairman. Instead of this, the board member should have questioned that why he was investing in his own family members' company. It is hard to believe that independent board members and directors would not discover the fraud. The fourth point is audit failure. Audit committee plays a major role in Satyam scandal. The audit committee, internal and external, fails to detect the fraud. First, I will talk about internal audit. Internal audit. The company's global head of internal audit created fake customers' identities and generated fake invoices against their name. to inflate revenue and also forget board resolutions and illegally obtained loans for the company. On the on the other hand, External Audit Committee (PwC) audited the company for nearly 9 years and did not uncover the fraud, whereas Merrill Lynch discovered the fraud only in 10 days. The fourth point is greater emphasis on short-term performance. Mr. Ramalingam Raju started using shortcuts for his goals, for achieving his goals. He manipulated a company's account without thinking of the consequences that he will face in future. And if I conclude my points, it can be said that the Satyam scandal is a classic case of negligence of fiduciary duties, total collapse of ethical standards, and a lack of corporate social responsibility. It is a human greed and desire that lead to fraud. That's all from my side. Thank you. Now I will call Yash to explain about Mitas Infra and Mitas Property.
Meta's Infra and Meta's Properties. Meta's Properties and Meta's Infrastructure are the two real estate companies that were owned by the chairman of Satyam Computers Limited, Mr. Ramalinga Raju's family members. On December 16, 2008, Satyam Computers announces buying of a 100% stake in the two companies at a proposed deal of $1.6 billion. But 7 hours later, after the announcement, the deal was aborted because of the conflict of interest in the investor of Satyam Computers Limited. Second is plan to buy the Metas properties to fill the gap in the balance sheet. Because of his personal interest, Mr. Ramalinga Raju started manipulating the balance sheet of Satyam Computers Limited, about which he had confessed in his letter, a copy of which is shown in Exhibit 2. He was constantly trying to falsify the balance sheet, which led to the arising of a gap between the actual figures of balance sheet and the one he was showing in the falsified balance sheet. And as the years passed, the gap continued to grow much larger, which had become unmanageable and impossible for Mr. Raju to fill up the gap. Every attempt he made to fill this gap failed, and then at last he planned to acquire the Metas properties through Satyam Computers Limited. Third is Metas acquisition deal, last attempt to fill the fictitious assets with real ones. To attract the investors, Mr. Raju showed much higher profit than the actual one in the balance sheet of Satyam Computers Limited, which led to a gap arising in the reserves of the company. And to cover up for that, he provided the reason that the company had to carry additional resources and assets which were fictitious and had no existence. So to cover up the gap, he planned to acquire Metas properties to Satyam Computers so that the fictitious assets in the fabricated balance sheet can be filled with real ones. Now my team member Shivani will continue the auditor's role in the fraud.
So well explained by Yash. Now I would be explaining auditor's role. Uh, PwC which stands for Price Waterhouse Corporation. It audited Satyam from June till discovery of the fraud in 2009. It audited for the 9 year, but it did not recognize the fraud. Whereas Merrill Lynch, it recognized it within a 10 year, according to the Thai Indian News. And Satyam was also paid twice. It also pays twice to the PwC what other firm charges for the auditing, which raised a question that PwC was involved in fraud or not. Also, PwC license was revoked and was banned for the 2 year by the SEBI. And now my friend Soumya will explain the further slide.
Thank you, Shivani. So here I will explain what happened after the scam was released. So after the news of the fraud released on January 10, 2009, Satyam shares fell to rupees 11.50, and this amount of share was at lowest since March 1998, as compared to Satyam's highest shares was of rupees 544 in the year 2008. As well as in New York Stock Exchange, Satyam shares in 2008 were highest of US dollar 29.10, and by March 2009 it fell to US dollar 1.80. Because of this, the investors of the company has to suffer a loss of US dollar 2.82 billion. As well as Merrill Lynch, the company's financial advisor, and Credit Suisse, a financial service company, terminated its engagement with Satyam. Second is criminal charges. So criminal charges were brought against Mr. Raju, including criminal conspiracy, breach of trust, and forgery. Not only Mr. Raju, charges were also brought against Mr. B. Ramaraju, brother of Mr. Ramaraju, its former managing director Srinivas Vadlami, company's head of internal audit S. Gopal Krishnan, and its CFO Mr. Srinivas Taluveri. Third is PricewaterhouseCoopers. So PwC license to operate was cancelled by SEBI for 2 years, as well as the two partners of PwC, that is S. Gopal Krishnan and Srinivas Taluveri, who were the supporters of this scam. They were asked to pay the wrongful gains they have received, as well as in future they can't issue any audit certificate to the listed companies. Also, the investors become wary of those companies who were the clients of PwC, which result in fall in share prices of around 100 companies, varying between 5 to 15%. Fourth is government role. So government appointed the new board of directors for Satyam so that it could prevent the total collapse of the firm and save the company. The board goal was to sell the company within 100 days. The board hired Goldman Sachs and Avendus Capital and charged them to sell the company in the shortest time possible. Fifth is Tech Mahindra bought Satya. So on April 13, 2009, Tech Mahindra purchased 51% of Satyam shares and successfully saved the firm from a complete collapse. Change the slide. So as we can see from this fall from grace chart that within 1 month, that is on 16 December 2008, their share was of rupees 226. And when the news of the fraud released, the shares goes on decreasing and it reached to rupees 39.95 on 7th Jan 2009. Change the slide. Here it comes the victims of this scandal. So the first is employees. First to suffer the most was the employees of Satyam. They faced problems from all the sides, such as non-payment of salaries, project cancellations, layoff, and as well as they were not receiving employment opportunities from outside. They were stranded in many ways, such as morally, financially, legally, and socially. Second is clients. So clients lost their trust from Satyam company. Clients reviewed their contracts and preferred to go with their other competitors. Several global clients such as Cisco, World Bank, etc. cancelled their contracts with Satyam. Third is shareholders. So shareholders receive a huge loss in their investment and therefore they were having doubt about revival of India as a preferred investment destination. Fourth is bankers. Bankers were concerned about the recovery of financial and non-financial exposures from Satyam company. Fifth is Indian government. Indian government was worried about its image of the nation and IT sectors affecting fate to invest or to do business in the country. The impact of this scam was such that many technocrats' jobs were at risk, country's booming economy was at risk, IT sector suffered a great downturn, India's global image was tarnished, and Indian stock markets fell dramatically. Thank you. This is all from my side. Now, Jyoti will continue with the case.
Thank you, Soumya. Now, in this slide, we are going to discuss about the corporate governance issue at Satyam. Corporate governance is the combination of rules or laws by which the business are operated, regulated, or controlled. It is the heart of any organization. It not only improves the overall performance of an organization, but also promotes the trust among various stakeholders and shareholders. Corporate governance issue arose because of non-fulfillment of obligation of the company towards the various stakeholders and shareholders. Every organization is responsible for presenting the true and fair value of their company before various stakeholders. Also, they are responsible for consulting various shareholders before making any investment. But the Satyam case case was the poor corporate governance as it violated both the rules. In Satyam case, at the time of investment in Meta's shareholders were not neither informed nor prior consent was taken from them, because of which the shareholders felt cheated and this sold the stake of Satyam and also filed a complaint against Satyam in US. After which World Bank banned Satyam from conducting business for 8 years, and the Meta's deal was reversed in next 12 hours. So this was the case. So in this way, the Satyam failed to show good relation with the shareholders and employees. Now the next slide will be explained by Yash.
Lessons learned from Satyam case. Investigation of all the inaccuracies. The fraud at Satyam, which started very small, eventually grew into a $276 million scam. Indeed, every fraud starts from a small scale when the owner starts thinking that these small changes in the books of accounts will not make a big difference and it is unlikely to be detected. But in order to cover these small changes, they have to manipulate their accounts for years. This sends a message to a lot of companies that if your accounts are not balancing or if something seems inappropriate, it is worth investigating so that future mishappenings can be prevented. And for that, separate department must be created in every organization and responsibilities must be divided among team of people in order to detect irregularities. Second is ruining of reputation. Fraud not only affect the reputation of company alone, but also affect the reputation of the whole industry. It also affects the future investment of the company. Thus, every organization must think twice about the aftermath before conducting any fraud, as it may not affect in short term, but it will definitely affect the reputation of an organization to a large extent in the long run. For this, management should ensure that the internal audit staffs are able to prevent and detect financial statement frauds. Third is corporate governance need to be stronger. The Satyam case is just another example supporting the need for stronger corporate governance. All companies must be careful while selecting the top level management and executives, as these are the people who make the organization reach to the top and save their organization from indulging in any type of frauds. Also, the roles of CEO and chairman of the board needs to be separated, as it will help to avoid a situation like the one at Satyam. So that's all from our side. Thank you.